The Oregon football team had just got a gigantic commitment from a running back in the 2027 class. Now, I believe that the Ducks just pulled off some highway robbery. Hopefully, you feel the exact same way once I'm done with today's video, letting you know all of the important facts about Cadarius McMiller and why he is going to be a great Duck after he comes in and starts playing for Dan Lanning. Before we get into today's video, though, make sure that you come on in and hit that thumbs up button. We're trying to beat our most liked video from last week. Only 103 likes. That is not good enough here on the Oregon Football Report. So if you love the Ducks, you love getting constant updates on the team in the year of 2026, make sure that you come on in and smash that thumbs up button. Now, let's get into the news. The Oregon Ducks just got a beast. This is the Oregon Football Report. I am your host, Will Ortner, and we're going to be diving into the latest news around the Oregon Ducks' latest commitment in the 2027 class. And this running back, I do believe, is someone that is going to be a big-time star for the University of Oregon because he can do a multitude of different things. He's big, he's strong, and he can play multiple positions. Cadarius McMiller just committed to the Oregon football team. He's a player that is well thought of nationally. He's highly ranked for his position, obviously seen here running out in what looks like a All-American type game. But what's most important about Cadarius McMiller is he's the type of player that has the right mindset to succeed at the University of Oregon. And the University of Oregon has done a great job of letting other running backs that have come in, see De'Aaron Hill, Jordan Davison, Bucky Irving, Noah Whittington, Royce Freeman, the list goes on and on and on. The Oregon Ducks do a great job of bringing in running backs and letting them hit their maximum potential, and I think that McMiller can be that next crew. When we look at the 2027 recruiting class right now for the Oregon football team, there are 5 commits for the Ducks. Cadarius McMiller is the latest, and he is the highest ranked in the national media. But, of course, Edge Cam Pritchett, Sam Nada, Haloti Nada's son, Drew Fielder, and Avery Michael, they round out the crew of cats who have committed to play for the Oregon Ducks. We're going to dive more into Cadarius McMiller and why he ended up committing to the Ducks over the weekend. But before we do that, we got some merch on the channel. You guys have been asking for it for quite some time now. Finally able to show you guys that we got some St. Patty's Day merch. You can be a part of the Oregon drinking team. I think these things are freaking sweet. You're going to want to make sure that you wear green, of course, or have some green on your shirt if you go with the black, because you don't want to get pinched on St. Patty's Day. We all love to have a good time here on the channel. You're going to love to have a good time on St. Patty's Day. Just make sure that you do so responsibly. Here's the best part. I can't wait for mine to come in because I know it's going to be the talk of the town. The t-shirt is so freaking cool. Only $29.99. We're going to have the link in the comment section and description of today's video. All you got to do, click that link. It'll take you right where you want to go. Now, why did McMiller end up choosing the University of Oregon? I think there's a multitude of different factors. He talked about how the Oregon Ducks really hyped up him and his family, how much love they showed to him. Also, McMiller showed why the Ducks really built a key relationship with him when it comes to his running back coach, Rashad Samples, and Dan Lanning. And I specifically want to highlight what Rashad Samples and McMiller were able to create in their relationship. Here's what McMiller had to say. Coach Samp, it's a good relationship. It felt right. He's a good dude. I feel like to be a good recruiter, you have to have good communication and relationship skills, and he clearly has both of them. I've been telling you since we started this channel that in recruiting, relationships are key. Because if you are unable to create relationships with these top players, whether it is a transfer portal player or a player like McMiller who's coming from the high school ranks, you need to be able to create those relationships to be able to get them to trust you and come into your program. The only way to get big 5-star athletes, 4-star athletes in the case of McMiller, you need to be able to get them to trust you and to trust that you are going to do what's best for them. So a guy like Rashad Samples being able to go in and convince McMiller, hey, we are going to do right by you. we are going to put you in a position to have your most success. Well, that can only be a plus sign for the Oregon Ducks, especially for a kid that I truly do believe is floating a little bit right now under the radar. What are your thoughts on the Ducks' latest commit? Let me know down below in the comment section. Obviously, I think that this is kind of a hidden gem type of situation. The Ducks found someone that is going to instantly impact this team, but I do think that it is important to hear what you have to say. So make sure that you let me know down below. Where I believe McMiller can instantly impact this offense is with his ability to play a multitude of positions. We saw this way back when the Ducks had a guy by the name of DeAnthony Thomas. Now, not everyone totally remembers the DeAnthony Thomas years because, well, there are some younger people who do enjoy this show. But DeAnthony Thomas was electric. Whenever the ball was in his hands, the Oregon Ducks always had a chance to score, and they used him in the slot. They used him out wide at an X or a Z position. The Ducks used him as a tailback position. There were all kinds of different things that the Ducks did with him. I think that McMiller can be a similar version of this, but of course he's going to be a little bit more of a power back. If you really want to get some insight onto what McMiller can be at the next level, well, Steve Wiltfong of On3 had this to say. The 6'1", 185-pound McMiller, that is a big running back, not just at the high school level, but at the college level as well, is running a 10.2 in his 100-meter dash, and as a junior, he had 943 yards on the ground, 17 touchdowns, and had another 186 yards receiving and 3 scores. That's instant impact because that is a kid who is big enough that you can still line him up in the slot. Now, McMiller will be the first one to tell you that he is a running back, but you can line him up in the slot. He can go up and make a couple of big contested catches. You can line him up at running back, which is where he wants to be, and you can use him in that avenue as well, where he becomes more of your power back for a team that you would have over at Oregon. But I think what's most important is that he fits into a mold that nobody else fits into at the University of Oregon, and that is there is no mold for him. When you look at the current running backs for the Oregon Ducks, all of these players, except for Simeon Price, will be back in 2027 if McMiller continues to stay with his commitment and signs with the Ducks. Price being a senior means he does have to leave. There is an option for some of these players to leave in the transfer portal. But when you look at Jordan Davison, he is a power back. When you look at D'Air Hill, he is a speed back who can do some gadget things. When you look at DeJuan Riggs and Tredarian Ball, they are still growing into what they can be. When I look at a guy like McMiller, I believe that I found a guy who has the power of a Jordan Davison, but the versatility and the speed of a D'Air Hill. So this is the type of player that I want to have on my roster because let's say that he comes in next year and the main two backs are still going to be Hill and Davison. Well, there are going to be components of this offense where you can put McMiller out at that slot position. Or there's going to be certain packages where you can grab McMiller and you can put him into that running back spot because it's going to be more of a power situation. He's the type of player that you have to find a way to get the ball in his hands for at least 3 to 4 touches early on in his career because it's only going to help him grow and blossom into being a main feature back for this Duck team down the road. Now, I understand I might be getting a little bit ahead of my skis in this situation, but I think that you can understand now why I am so excited because the Ducks are going to get a player that you can't just put into one box. He doesn't just do one thing. And I think you're seeing this in the college level as well as in the National Football League, that it is better and more important for teams to have these players that don't just do one thing. Because if that one thing gets shut down by an opposing team, well, then you can go to them with their changeup or their curveball or the other thing that they do so well. I cannot wait to see McMiller with the University of Oregon, see Drew Maringer create different plays that highlight his skill set and really see him explode. The best part, though, of the McMiller signing, and I don't think that we talked about this enough, and I don't think that it's highlighted enough, is not only did the Oregon Ducks go in and grab a big-time recruit, and a recruit that I do think is going to rise up recruiting rankings, and a big-time recruit that I still say is pulling off highway robbery, the Oregon Ducks are still major players for Noah Roberts and Landon Williams-Callis, 2 guys who are top 10 in their position when it comes to the running back recruiting rankings in the 2027 recruiting class. So not only did the Ducks go out and get a big-time running back recruit, they still have the ability and the option to bring in another big-time running back recruit that is only going to add to this skill set. The Ducks have shown in the 2025 class, grabbing Davison and Hill, how important it is to have two big running backs in the same class because of how well they can impact the offense and how instantaneously they can impact that offense. I think that the Ducks could be doing the same thing here in the 2027 class. I think the Ducks pulled off highway robbery, and I think they have the opportunity to make that robbery even more impressive later on down the line. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. Make sure you go grab your merch as well as you hit that thumbs up button on today's video. If you like good news for the Oregon Ducks, you're going to want to make sure that you smash that thumbs up button. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel as well because we are closing in on getting to that 3,100 number on our subscribers. So make sure that you hit that sub button. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. And Sko Ducks!